Let's start with one of the most fascinating and valuable Washington quarters, the 1967 no mint mark quarter. At first glance, it might look like just another quarter, but trust me, this one is anything but ordinary. Here's the thing, most quarters will have a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, to tell us where they were made. But the 1967 quarter? No mint mark at all. Just a blank space where the mint mark should be. So, what does that mean? Well, turns out, this is a huge deal in the world of coin collecting. Why? Because the lack of a mint mark means this coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, but somehow, they forgot to add the mint mark. It's a simple mistake, but that's exactly what makes this coin so special. It's a rare error coin, and error coins can be worth a fortune. And here's where it gets even more exciting, condition matters, and it matters big time. Coins like this, especially when they're in exceptional shape, can command some jaw-dropping prices. For example, a 1967 no mint mark quarter that was graded MS-67, which is a near-perfect grade, sold for an incredible $6,250 at auction. Now, if you're wondering what exactly makes MS-67 so special, here's the scoop. It's a coin that's nearly flawless. We're talking about a coin that looks so good, it could have just been minted yesterday. You'd have to look really close to find any tiny imperfections. And with the 1967 no mint mark quarter, collectors are all about finding these near-perfect examples. The fewer scratches, dings, or signs of wear, the more valuable the coin becomes. So, if you have a 1967 quarter lying around in your collection, here's your chance to turn it into something valuable. First, make sure it's got that missing mint mark. If it does, it's already got a leg up in the rarity department. Then, take a good look at its condition. If it's been well taken care of and doesn't have much wear and tear, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. Remember, rarity is one thing, but condition is everything. If you find a 1967 quarter in fantastic shape with no mint mark, you might just have yourself a coin worth thousands. Who knew a small oversight by the mint could turn a simple coin into a jackpot? The 1969 no mint mark Washington quarter. This one is a real gem for coin collectors, and if you're lucky enough to find one, you could be holding on to something pretty valuable. So, just like the 1967 version, this 1969 quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. But here's the twist, it doesn't have a mint mark. No P to indicate Philly. The absence of this mint mark makes it a rarity, just like the 1967 version we talked about earlier. If you've ever wondered why this tiny detail matters, well, it's because it makes the coin special. In a world where most quarters have some kind of mint mark to help track where they were made, a missing one makes this quarter stand out. It's like a little mistake that turned into a treasure. Now, let's talk value. A 1969 no mint mark quarter that was graded MS-67+, that's mint state 67+, which means this coin is in near perfect shape, was sold at a Heritage Auctions event for an impressive $3,290. That's a serious price for a quarter that's nearly 60 years old. But why is this coin worth so much? There are two big reasons, rarity and condition. The 1969 quarter is rare enough because of the missing mint mark, but the condition of the coin is just as important. Coins like this one are highly valued because they're in near perfect condition. When a coin is graded MS-67+, it means it's practically flawless. You won't find scratches, dings, or signs of heavy use. Even under a magnifying glass, it looks almost as good as the day it was minted. Collectors go crazy for these kinds of coins because they want pieces that have stood the test of time, and this quarter has. And here's where it gets even more interesting. When collectors bid on rare coins like this, they're not just buying a piece of metal. They're buying a piece of U.S. history. That 1969 quarter might not seem like much at first glance, but to a collector, it represents an era. It's a piece of the past, a coin that could have been spent, used, and forgotten about, but instead, it was preserved in near perfect condition for decades. So, if you happen to come across a 1969 no-mint mark quarter, take a second to inspect it closely. If it's in great shape, you could have a coin worth much more than its face value. The fact that it's missing a mint mark and is in excellent condition makes it a prime candidate for a higher price tag when it comes time to sell. In the world of coin collecting, every detail counts, and this 1969 quarter is a perfect example of how a small, seemingly insignificant error, like leaving off the mint mark, can end up being the key to a big payday. Let's talk about a game changer in the world of Washington quarters, the 1970 mint mark quarter. If you've heard about rare and valuable coins, this one definitely belongs on the list. But what makes it so special, you ask? Well, for starters, the D mint mark tells us this quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, but there's much more to it than that. Here's where it gets exciting. What makes this particular quarter so valuable isn't just its mint location, it's its rarity and incredible condition. You see, some coins from certain years can have a low mintage or simply not hold up well over time. But the 1970 mint mark quarter, when found in the right condition, becomes a coveted treasure for collectors. So, how much is this quarter worth? Get ready for this, $40,000. Yes, you hear that correctly. A 1970 mint mark quarter graded MS-68 was sold for an astounding $40,000 at auction. If you happen to stumble upon one of these in pristine, almost perfect condition, it could be worth a small fortune. Now, you're probably wondering, what makes this coin so special, and why is it worth such a huge sum? Well, it all comes down to its grade. The MS-68 grade means this coin is nearly flawless, with only microscopic imperfections, nothing visible to the naked eye. This kind of condition is incredibly rare for a coin that's over 50 years old. Over time, coins naturally get scratched, worn, and tarnished, so finding one from the 1970s in nearly perfect condition is like striking gold. Collectors absolutely go wild for coins in this kind of pristine state. The MS-68 grade is the holy grail for coin collectors, as it's just about as perfect as a coin can get. So, if you happen to have a 1970 mint mark quarter sitting around in your collection, now might be a good time to give it a closer look. If it's in top-notch condition, it could be worth a lot more than you ever expected. The key thing to remember here is that rarity and condition go hand in hand when it comes to coin value. A rare coin that has been preserved in near-perfect condition is always going to be worth more than one that's been circulated and worn over time. In the case of the 1970 quarter, not only is it rare, but its near-perfect condition makes it one of the most valuable Washington quarters in existence. So, the next time you're flipping through your change or checking your coin collection, take a second to look for those perfect coins. You never know. You could have a 1970 mint mark quarter in amazing condition just waiting to make you a small fortune. Let's fast forward a bit to the 1978 mint mark quarter, another treasure from the Denver Mint. This quarter might not be the first one you think of when it comes to rare coins, but trust me, it's a big deal in the world of coin collecting, especially when it's in the right condition. If you've got a 1978 quarter that's been kept in pristine shape, you might want to take a closer look because this coin, when graded MS-68, can be worth serious money. One of these high-grade quarters was sold at auction for a staggering $32,400. So, what makes this coin so special? The answer lies in two key factors, condition and rarity. To put it simply, coins like the 1978 mint mark quarter don't come around every day in near-perfect condition. When a coin is graded MS-68, it means that it's essentially flawless, no noticeable scratches, dents, or signs of wear. The coin looks as good as it did the day it was minted, even though it's over 40 years old. And in the world of Washington quarters, MS-68 is about as good as it gets. But it's not just about the quality, it's about how rare these high-grade coins are. Sure, the 1978 quarter was minted in large numbers, but finding one in exceptional condition is a different story. Over time, coins get worn down from being used in everyday transactions. They get scuffed, scratched, and lose their luster. So, when a 1978 D mint mark quarter survives decades in nearly perfect condition, it becomes highly sought after by collectors who are eager to add a flawless piece to their collections. And that's where the $32,400 price tag comes in. Collectors will pay top dollar for coins that are historically significant and in immaculate condition. The 1978 D quarter is still part of recent history, but because there are so few in MS68 grade, it's incredibly valuable to the right buyer. The beauty of coins like this is that they hold a lot more than just their face value. They're time capsules, a snapshot of a particular era, and when they're in near perfect condition, they take on an even deeper significance. So, if you're going through your coin collection or rooting around in your change jar, don't overlook the 1978 D mint mark quarter. If it's in pristine shape and looks as though it just came from the mint, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of history, one that could fetch a small fortune at auction. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything, and a high-grade coin like this is a true prize for anyone who's lucky enough to find one. Let's fast forward into the 1980s and take a look at the 1983 P mint mark quarter. Now, you might be thinking that since this is a more recent coin, it might not be worth much. After all, most coins minted in the 1980s were produced in large quantities. But here's where things get interesting: the 1983 P quarter, when graded MS65, can still bring in a pretty hefty price. In fact, one of these 1983 P quarters that was graded MS65 sold for a remarkable $15,863. Now, that's a lot more than the quarter's original face value, right? But why such a high price for a coin that was minted just a few decades ago? The key is condition. While it's true that many 1983 quarters were produced in large numbers, not all of them have withstood the test of time in pristine condition. When a coin is graded MS65, it means it's in excellent shape. It might have a few small imperfections, but overall, it looks fantastic for its age. An MS65 coin is what collectors dream of finding, especially when the coin is still relatively modern, like this one from 1983. Even though there were plenty of 1983 quarters minted, it's not easy to find one that's still in great condition. Coins from that time period often show signs of wear and tear, whether from circulation or simply being stored poorly over the years. But a coin that has been kept in near perfect condition is rare and highly prized by collectors. So, what makes the 1983 P mint mark quarter so desirable? Well, collectors love to add well-preserved coins to their collections, even if they were minted in larger quantities. The 1983 P quarter also holds a special place in U.S. coin history, being part of a specific time period, and that's something that adds value. A quarter that has survived over 40 years without significant damage is something to be admired, and that's why this coin can fetch such a high price when graded properly. The $15,863 price tag for the MS65 graded coin shows just how much collectors are willing to pay for a coin in excellent condition, even from the 1980s. It's a perfect example of how rarity and condition go hand in hand when determining a coin's value. So, if you have a 1983 P quarter in your collection, don't assume it's just another pocket change coin. Take a good look at its condition. If it's in great shape, you might just have a rare find on your hands, one that could bring in a significant return if you decide to sell. Even modern coins can be valuable if they've been well preserved, and the 1983 P mint mark quarter is a great example of that. Let's talk about a more recent coin that still has some serious value, the 1995 P mint mark quarter. While this coin might not be as rare as some of the older Washington quarters we've discussed, don't be fooled. It still commands a pretty impressive price if you have one in excellent condition. Right now, a 1995 P mint mark quarter in top condition could be worth around $4,500. That's right, $4,500 for a quarter. It might seem unbelievable, especially since it's not an ancient coin or from a particularly special year, but here's the deal: coin collectors don't just care about how old a coin is. They care about how well preserved it is. You may wonder, why would a coin minted just a few decades ago be worth so much? The answer lies in condition. Most 1995p quarters were made in large quantities and circulated widely, which means they were used for everyday transactions. Over time, they got worn, scratched, or faded, just like most of the coins you encounter today. But every so often, one of these quarters is well preserved, almost as if it just left the mint. Coins that are in mint condition, like those graded MS-65, are worth a lot more than their face value. An MS-65 means the coin has minimal imperfections and looks almost flawless, making it a rare find. Considering most coins from the 1990s were used heavily, finding one in pristine condition is special. So why does it matter that a coin is in great condition? In the world of coin collecting, condition is king. Most coins, even those from the 1990s, have been in circulation for years, picking up wear and tear. But a coin that has been kept in fantastic shape offers something truly rare. When collectors look for coins to add to their collections, they're not just looking for old coins, they want the best possible examples of each year. And finding a 1995p quarter in near-perfect condition makes it a valuable asset. Even though the 1995p quarter wasn't minted in limited numbers, its rarity in high grades drives up the price. Over time, fewer and fewer of these high-quality coins will be around, which makes those that are still in great shape more desirable. So, if you've got a 1995p quarter that's been kept in good condition, it could be time to get it professionally graded. Why is the 1995p quarter still valuable? It's all about how rare it is in excellent condition. If you've got one in your collection, it could be a hidden treasure, and you might want to get it appraised. You never know, you might have a coin worth thousands of dollars sitting right under your nose. So, what have we learned today? The Washington quarter, spanning from the 1960s to the 1990s, holds a treasure trove of valuable coins, especially those with unique features like missing mint marks or rare mint years. Coins like the 1967 or 1970 quarters show how rarity and condition can boost a coin's value to tens of thousands. If you're a coin collector or just have loose change, take a closer look, you might have a hidden gem. And if you're unsure about your coins, consider getting them professionally graded. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more coin collecting tips. Happy collecting!